Good morning. On November 21, 2025, Zacke will hold its inaugural sale of Fine Antiquities and Ancient Art with this beautiful catalog. We have a few spare copies left, so if you want one, we can send it to you. You have to order it via our website. You just email us. This is about lot 34, 35, 36, 37, and I think also 38 and 39 of our upcoming auction. These are all cats, as you can see. What's so great about them is that they're all very, very old, and they are all nicely modeled. And we got various materials. Here we got marble, we got bronze, more the classic bronze with a malachite green patina, and then two bronzes with a cuprite patina, which is also very nice. And then we got these amulets here, which are really nice. This is an exceptional carnelian amulet, which is pierced through the center. And then we got this absolutely amazing, super rare amethyst cat from Sheikh Al-Thani, which has a loophole at the back for suspension. And we put this one here on our catalog. And when you see the picture, you don't realize that this is the original size. This is like really awesome. Because the quality, the sculptural quality of this piece is so exceptional that when you enlarge it 100 times, you don't realize how small it is. And this is something that you don't find literally no other culture at that level as the ancient Egyptians could do it. They were the absolute leader in quality when it came to miniature art. Yeah, we start with this one. Of course, there's very few comparisons. We have one in the Metropolitan, which is a lion, but the quality is inferior. And then we have this one here. That's ours, which went at Christie's and was purchased by Sheikh Al-Thani, who passed away in 2014. It's been with the Al-Thani Foundation for a long time thereafter until it was deaccessed. And it sold for what is 51,000 euros today. So for a substantial amount because of its exceptional quality. Then Rupert Weiss published it on his website. So I think Rupert Weiss bought it in the sale and then sold it to Sheikh Al-Thani, and the price back then was 63,000 euros, so it's even a bit more. We put it in the sale now at a very good price, significantly lower than that. No reserves, so there's a real good chance to buy it. It's 10,000 euros starting price and 20,000 euros estimate. Here you go. That's the key piece. And this is, of course, late period. To Ptolemaic, I think it's quite early in the period, so it would be around 500 BC. We have the carnelian cat to start with the small ones. And this has also nice provenance. This is from Miss Agnes Barclay, who acquired it around 1920 to 1940. And then from there on, and it was at some point sold by C.J. Martin, together with a couple of other pieces for 23,500 euros. And from there to a collection from where it was eventually deaccessed. And this is carnelian. We also show quite strong enlargements in the catalog for it. But of course not as large as the amethyst one, because I have to say, it's not as fine as the amethyst one. It's still very good. It's also in very good condition. And also another thing with this one is it has this exceptional color of the carnelian, which is actually carnelian agate, because you have the pale blue of the agate in here, which is translucent, and then the dark orange on the back of the cat and on the head, which is a carnelian. So it's a combination of two quartzes, which give this exceptional color. And the vertical drilling doesn't really, it's visible, but it doesn't change the overall perception of the piece, which again is really cleverly done. So not a great piece at a crazy low price of 1,500 euros. Not a joke. It's actually it's the price. And then we have this one. This is, of course, the real thing. That was at Park Bernet Galleries in 1971. Yeah, 54 years ago. It's already published in the catalog. So this has stellar provenance. Yeah. Not only it's a quite large cat, like cats of the same size, sell for a lot of money. There was one for 70,000 euros, 40,000 pounds back in the day, which had only 10 centimeters. This one is exactly the same size, excluding the tenon, which is here, 2 tenons actually. It has 10 centimeters. So this is basically the same size. And they both have this large pectoral here, which is neatly incised, but the one that sold for 70,000 has a Vediat eye, which is quite common, as we know. This one here has a scarab, which is much rarer. So this is a really desirable and very, very well done bronze. Stellar provenance, Sotheby's, Parc Bernet, 55 years ago. I wouldn't know how it could get any better. And it's also in great condition. And there is lots of examples of cats that sold in that price range. There's another one that sold for 65,000 in 2011, which was 35,000 pounds back in the day. That had 12 centimeters, so it's like this is a bit larger. But so they sell in that price range, and we put 4,000 to 8,000 on it. And again, it doesn't have a reserve, so it's gonna sell probably very well. But there is a chance to get a really good cat at a reasonable price. So I hope you can win it. And then there is a smaller one here, which I like also. This is late period. It's possibly a bit earlier than this one, in theory, because that one is dynasty 26 to 30. And this one is probably early late period. But it's much smaller. It's only 6 centimeters, excluding the tenons. It has this nice wood base here, which has some age, and it's also published because this is from the Risandro collection. It's R477 in the Risandro collection. It was published by Isabel Grimm-Stadelmann in 2012. The Risandros collected it long time ago. According to their note, they already had it in an insurance valuation in July 87, back at the day at a valuation of 5,000 German marks. So if you inflate that, that's probably some 10,000 euros today, which was the value back in the time, or even more maybe. And we have it at 2,000 to 4,000, again, no reserve. And this has this beautiful cuprite patina. There is another one which sold at Christie's in 2024, a year ago, for 10,000 euros, $12,000, which has also 6 centimeters, which is very similar to this one. I think we offer it at a reasonable price. There's another one which has 2 centimeters more that sold for 12,500 euros, so it's literally 1,000 euros per centimeter. So those are really 2 nice bronze cats here. And then we have this little gem here, which is a column or the top of a staff or a fitting, and which is also late period, and which shows Bastet sit here on the top, with a nice cuprite patina. It has several corrosions here and old repairs. It's only a fragment, keep that in mind, but the price is only 1,000 euros. And so that makes it, I think, a really good deal. It doesn't have that super strong provenance that the other pieces we discussed have. They all have documented provenance. This one only comes from a private collection in the south of France, which was apparently assembled in the 1980s, but there are no records. No written records. That's why this has been priced. That's why this is available at 1,000 euros only. You find a lot of these columns and tops. There's one that sold at Christie's for 14,000 euros. But that is only from here. So if you put it side to side with the comparison, which has 10 centimeters, which is approximately that size, the actual cat is larger. We have to admit that. That is why this one here at Christie's is more valuable than this one, arguably, but this has the whole pole. So it's also nice. Yeah, it's a good piece. There's a very similar one in the Louvre, E4257, which is dated late to Ptolemaic, and which is probably the most closely related that I could find. We continue with this one. That is another spectacular cat figure. It's Ptolemaic, possibly Roman, like 1st century BC. It's white marble. There's a lot of marble cats of this scale. I mean, in general, within the Egyptian corpus, of course, extremely rare. But there is a group of marble and limestone from the Bubastion at Naucratis. The whole group comes from there, which is in the British Museum, closely related to this one. And then there is pieces in the British Museum, 2 of them, one specifically a seated cat, which is limestone, This is marble, but these are all closely related. This one has good provenance. It came from Nicholas Wright in the 1960s. Then it was with Guy Weil Guccio, passed away in 2006, and from there it went to Charles Rupert Wace in London, the famous dealer and collector, and he had it for a long time. And we have this statement from him which basically says that he acquired it directly from Guy Guccio in 1980. That's 45 years ago, this piece. He was told by Guccio back in the day that he got it from Nicholas Wright in the 60s, which I think is a credible statement, especially when it comes from Rupert Wace. So this piece overall has strongly documented provenance. It has this fantastic patina that only marble acquires over centuries, which essentially means that it darkens and gets this ivory finish with a beautiful luster. That is not something you can imitate. It's impossible, and you don't find it on 17th, 18th century pieces, not at all. You only find this on really ancient wares, especially when the losses, like the tip of this ear and most of the other ear, as well as here in the back, parts of the tail and parts of the base and other areas, when these acquire the same patina and same luster, which means that those damages occurred centuries ago. This is an overall exceptionally beautiful appearance which the stone renders. And then on top of that, from the sculptural perspective, you have this really powerful cat. And I mean, we have a couple of cats on our property and the countryside, and when you see them fighting, you realize that they are so incredibly strong animals. Like they operate on 10% of their power base. When they deploy the whole 100%, you think it's crazy how this animal can have such a tremendous strength. And this is what the artist wanted to show with this specific piece, because you see this highly muscular structure in the body, which every detail has been paid attention. So all these, dips and wells and lines here, and the spine. This is not chance. This is deliberate. So the guy who carved this 2,000 years ago, roughly, probably a big cat lover, just like me, and many of you probably in the audience. And that completes our group of fine cats from ancient Egyptian times, late period Ptolemaic area, all the way to the early Roman Empire. 700-800 years covered here, with 6 fine examples all coming up at our auction. This one we started at 10,000 euros, which for this size of a marble cat, I think, again, is a very good price. So I hope you can win one of them. I wish you best of luck in bidding, and see you at the auction.